I wasn't really planning on pledging. I got here, it wasn't in the thought process. When Justin Johnson had pledged, he lived across the way, we were buddies. He's like, come on, you really got to take a look at this. You really should. And came over and started taking a look at some things around here. And there were a couple guys that were very influential at that point. I mean, I just clicked with them. They were great guys to hang out with and talk to. The house was just beautiful. I mean, this house was absolutely incredible, and I said, you know what, this is definitely something to do. I lived a year up in the exec room, and then another year over in the cave in the barn. You know, we talked a little bit last night about this when we all met, and it's not just for a couple guys that are in here today. It's for the guys that are going to be in here next year and the year after. It's the reason that there's 50 of us on an email list communicating all the time and being resources and backups for each of us. It's creating something that is going to be a bond for life. And it's something that, I mean, we're all tied into it. And we're all together because of it. And there's guys that I've met that are older than me that we've gotten to know each other very well, and because of this project. And I'm sure we'll continue at that point because this project is going on. But it's not just for the house for today. It's for the guys who are in it now and who will be in 50 years from now. We're all here because of it, and it's to the point where we're either going to do this and the house is going to go forward and we're going to put more gentlemen out, or it'll be time to say, hey, it was a great run. You know, we kind of joke when we were here and Paul Ashby was here, even when he wasn't here. If someone was about to do something that wasn't like the smartest thing in the world, someone would go, you boys and your beer bat. I mean, they'd just mimic what he would say if he was here. And they would kind of be, it was like a voice of reasoning of like, you guys are true gentlemen. What are you really doing? You know, I understand you're having your parties and but what are you doing? And that was because of that voice of reason that was kind of resounding. It was kind of built in. And quite honestly, what's occurring right now is that I have seen more alumni support since we started this last fall than I've seen in years. I mean, years. I mean, we've got our group that we keep on our list, and we're very committed to this. If the house wasn't here next year, that list is still going to be there. But now we've got a bunch of guys who are really committed to making this happen. I mean, we started last year, we raised funds just to kind of clean the house, spruce it up, do some painting, get it ready for Rush, because we're like, look, I saw pictures of the house. We're not going to get people to join this house the way it is. I mean, we're going to just keep dwindling. Within 3 years, the house was going to be closed. So we either make a commitment now, let's raise some money, let's clean it up, let's get Rush done, let's get some new people in here, or it's not going to be around. Well, none of us wanted that. And then when we got that done, it's like, okay, what do we do next? Well, why don't we start doing some projects? Let's rebuild Active Chapter. It got vandalized a few years ago. Someone broke in the house, ripped it apart. That's one of our core areas that we all met. That's like where we all have these memories. Okay, let's start doing that. Well, you know, we started doing that. Next thing, it's kind of like, okay, well, what long term? And then the project came along, and it's kind of like, okay, well, let's wait, because this is a big picture at this point. And the support is not just from our group anymore. It's from the guys from early 80s, late 70s, early 70s, 60s, 50s. I mean, it's reached down. I heard from someone who was here in the 50s, you know, that heard about the project before we announced it openly. They heard about it because someone mentioned to someone else, hey, did you hear what's going on? And they're excited.